He has enabled to do so in every manner at his disposal. The charts that you see around the room are an explanation of the vision. They are in perfect harmony with the Bible, but in direct competition or in conflict with what is being taught in the world today. Our founder in the Dr. Henry C. Kimball.
Thank you ever so much. I'm always happy and glad to be here and to impart to you some of the knowledge which I received. I believe it was last Sunday night that I said that I was not satisfied with this creation, how the knowledge of it has been taught to you in different parts. And I want to get into it and explain it so that everybody could understand. Now, there's much theory and speculation about the creation in all the world, and there is not a religious organization in the world today that is able to explain it. There's a lot of theory about it. Now, ordinarily, I would have drug a lot of books down here and read out of those books the hypothesis and the theory of our master theologians and their concept. Now, in the Bible, as they go in and read the Bible, and you find what I'm saying in the commentary, they believe that there is two distinctive accounts of the creation of heaven and earth. One, in the first chapter of Genesis, they think that Moses wrote that. And in the second chapter of Genesis, down in there, you find that they believe that that is another account. And that was not written by Moses. And they speculate. They think that it was copied from the Assyrians. And they think that it was added to the Bible after the Israelites were carried captive to Babylon. Right. And, Babylon is in Assyria. And they were carried captive. The first crew was 721. I'll talk so you understand what I'm talking about. 721 B.C. And then in 606, now I better fix that. Now the 10 tribes were carried captive to Assyria, and they were dispersed among the Assyrians from Jerusalem, from Israel, from the land of Israel. 10 tribes, not 12. I said 10. And so then, later in 606, as you have the chronology in your book, the other two tribes, Levi and Judah, were carried captive to Babylon. And they were down there for 70 years. Then you have the picture there on the top of the man standing there. I think you see it over to the back there. Where you got Babylon, Media, Persia, Greece, and Rome. On the top. Now, what we have endeavored to do at all times is to explain these things to you. Now, when they were carried captive down there, then that's where they think that the second account of the creation was written. And the Israelites got it from them and put it in your book. Now, if you notice, and if you haven't noticed, I'm going to call your attention to it. Did you notice in reading the first chapter of Genesis, there wasn't a thing said in that about Yahweh? Did you notice that? Now, if you didn't, then you notice it. And nothing is said about Yahweh until you get into the second chapter of Genesis. See? Now, and endeavoring to explain these names to you and expound so that you can comprehend, we say this. The moderator, every time you come to truth, it tells you that Yahweh is pure spirit without any descriptive change or wrong. He's invisible, inscrutable, incomprehensible, and could not be seen by anybody in that state or condition. Now, you follow this road, then you kind of understand something about what I'm talking about. Because this is new, I want you to understand. Then, that means that this cloud, now just don't pay any attention to Moses, this is right, you know. Just take the cloud. You see, the moderator tells you the cloud symbolizes pure spirit. And in that condition, in that state, nobody could perceive it. Moses and nobody else. And we went on to tell you about the attributes of wisdom. And you see it on the side of that. Wisdom, knowledge, and so forth and so on. And where he is putting his hand at that is correlated with those vessels of the sanctuary. And then it takes on in that third place from me in that, you see the embodiment of the presence. You see it in shape and form. See? Now that is seen in a vision. And that is called Elohim. See? But in its true state form, see, that's Yahweh. No man at no time has ever seen Yahweh. Now, here's some of the reasons why. Because you cannot get out of it. See? Separate him from yourself and then look back on him. See, that's a matter of impossibility. See? Now then, next to that, what is Yahweh? Yahweh is spirit. Then somebody said, well, God is spirit. That's John 4:24. That God is spirit. Then when you say, what is spirit? Then they say that is God. See? Then when you say, well, what is God? Then they run back to spirit. And so goes the theological world. You understand? That means this. They do not possess the ability to explain or to expound anything. And they get up in the book and they say this. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. See? Well, now, you see, that don't tell you nothing. See? It doesn't tell you a thing. You see? And then they think that that is the beginning of the creation. That's not so. That is not so. Then someone would say, well, that's not so. Do you mean that you're disputing the Bible? No. I'm not disputing the Bible. See, you got in trouble. Here's where you got in trouble at. Right here. G-O-D. That's what you have in your King James Version. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. Is that right? That's right. Now, in the Holy Name Bible, it does not read like that. It says, in the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and earth. Is that right? That's right. Now, what would be the difference? Well, the difference would be this. If you read John 4:24, see, Now, God is spirit. Now, Moses couldn't see spirit. He couldn't see pure spirit. So when you put that word God in there, then what you did, you see, you are saying that Moses was looking at God, or he was looking at pure spirit, which is not true. That is, if you take John 4:24. Now, Yahshua said, John 4:24. Suppose you read.
For Yahweh is spirit.
Now, you see, it didn't say God is spirit.
Right.
It does not. See how you get all confused. And then there's no possibility of getting straightened out. You see? You'll never get straightened out as long as you live out of the King James Version of the Bible. And there is no potential possibility of the world becoming reconciled and fully comprehend, listen now, to the extent that they can come together and one united body with them all having the same concept. Or understand? Are you following that?
Yes.
Now I'm going to have to be careful with this thing. Real careful. And I'm going to have to place this creation where it belongs. You see? Now, what you just said, Yahweh is spirit, is that right? All right, finish reading.
And they that worship him
And they that worship him
must worship him
must worship him.
in spirit and in truth.
In spirit and in truth. Right? Now, who said that? Yahshua, the Messiah. Now, here's where you get into more trouble. See? With that. See? Now, they don't realize, they do not understand that Yahshua, the Messiah, now you pay attention to everything I'm saying, that Yahshua, the Messiah, was back there with Moses, walking around just like you see me. As a man. All right. Now, they don't know that. They don't understand that. Now, the reason why I mention that, he who said what you just read was back there with Moses.
Right.
And that is what he said. That he was. That is Yahweh. Now, Yahweh, listen to us now, is the Father. That is to say, he is the parent of everything.
Yes.
Nothing could ever be before him. You understand? Now, every time the moderator gets on the floor, he tells you this. That he is the source. Just like you might say, well, where did God come from? Now, he tells you that Yahweh is the source. He tells you that he is the substance. He tells you that he is the essence. He tells you that he is the embodiment of everything.
Right.
We don't have a meeting without telling you that. And getting up here going over these topics. And that is indicated by this class. Now, we just said, where you started reading at, that was not the beginning of the creation. We read over that and showed you what Yahweh was. That he's pure spirit. See? That is to say, he's without any taste and any form. See? It just isn't that. You understand? All of it was embodied within him. You see? Now, here, watch what we're talking about now. I want you to go into the 3rd chapter of Revelation. And I believe it's about the 14th verse.
And to the messenger of the assembly of
Now, this is Yahshua the Messiah. Now, pay attention now. Because if you don't pay attention, I can't help you. And I'm striving now to reconcile everybody in the school to one specific concept.
Okay.
The ministers and all. See? And they don't all understand. Now, read.
And unto the messenger of the assembly of the Lord.
And unto the messenger of the assembly of the Laodiceans.
Right.
Right.
These things saith the I am.
These things saith the I am.
The faithful and true witness.
The faithful and true witness.
The beginning of the creation of Yahweh.
Now, this is the beginning of the creation of Yahweh. Now, let me go up to the top and tell you what I'm talking about. See? There we tell you that Yahweh taken on shape and form. This is the beginning of the creation of Yahweh.
Right.
And right there, Yahweh now this. See? Now, this is Elohim that you read about in the first chapter of Genesis.
Right.
That Moses said Elohim. He did not say that Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. You see? Now, that was the reason why he didn't say that was, you see, Yahweh is the sum total of everything. He was invisible. See, and he couldn't comprehend Yahweh in his fullness. You understand? He couldn't get outside of substance and spirit. You understand? And he couldn't discern it in that way. So then he had to take on a shape and form. You see? And then Moses, and him taking on that shape and form, then this means that Elohim. See, this is Yahweh Elohim.
Okay.
Now then we tell you this all the time. There is nothing in Yahweh but what is encompassed in this.
Right.
So far as substance and so forth and so on. See, this is incorporeal. This is not physical. See? You see? Now then listen. Another one. See, pure spirit is one. Shape and form is two. That's incorporeal. And physical shape and form is three. You see? Physical shape and form, that's three. But all of it is embodied in this.
Okay.
Now listen to what I'm saying. See? Now, then what he does, what he does, he takes on this incorporeal form. You see? Now this incorporeal form would be one. See? Well, I thought you said he was one. Yes. But, you see, there's a one here. Manifestation of him.
Right.
That's one manifestation. That's seen in the ring. You see what I mean? Two is a text down here in the man, Yahshua, that was walking around there with Moses. You see? Now then you got 1, 2, 3. Now that's brought out by the tabernacle. 1, 2, 3. Now everything, now you follow now, everything in the universe doesn't make any difference what it is. See? From the cell or from the atom, you see, has to be made up that way. Now you can delve deep into practical science and thought. And that's no scientist in the world can come up and never has and never will come up with anything contrary to what I just told you.
That's right.
See? Now you can argue about evolution. You see? See, and so forth and so on. You can say that the earth was always, it was eternal, it's without any beginning or without any end, yet argue the pan off. You see? Going to all kinds of hypotheses and theories. But you just said something that you can't prove.
That's right. That's right.
You see? For example, a cell, see, is first formed of living matter.
That's right.
Now listen to what I'm going to say now. But if you don't pay attention, then you see you won't catch up. See? Now a cell cannot come from anything that doesn't previously have shape and form.
Right. That's right.
It must be fully designed. See? Before anything secrete a cell. You understand?
Yes.
It does not come from the cell itself. See, the cell has to come from someplace.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's all right.
You see what I mean? Now, that goes for all forms of matter. Now, if anybody don't understand what I'm talking about, I'm trying to teach. You hold up your hand. Now, here's why I said that, so you can see what I'm talking about. See, this is the substance that makes up everything. And it has to take on a shape and a form.
Right.
You understand? Before anything can come from it. It's got to be fully developed before it, understand? Just in short and back around the other way, the cell is generated in your physical body. And without you, there will be no cell.
Okay.
You follow? Now, it doesn't make a difference whether it's vegetation or whatnot. It has to have a seed.
All right.
Now, do you follow?
Yes.
See? And a human cell will never generate anything other than another human being.
That's a fact. Right.
Man did not come from a monkey.
That's right. That's right.
But a monkey did come from a monkey. And a man comes from another man.
All right.
Each one of those are independent cells.
That's right.
Just like peach trees and apple trees. You'll never plant a peach tree and get an apple tree.
All right. All right.
Are you following?
Mm-hmm.
Everything has its time.
All right.
You see? Everything has its time. Are you following now?
Yes.
Now we just read. What did you just read?
And unto the messenger of the assembly
And unto the messenger of the assembly of the Lansing.
Right.
Right.
These things saith the I am.
These things saith the I am.
The faithful and true witness.
The faithful and true witness.
The beginning
Hold it. Wait a minute. Now this faithful and true witness, he's one with the Father.
Right.
And he bears witness of the Father. The Father is in him. Yahweh is in him. See? Yahweh is greater than Yahshua. See? See? Yahweh is greater than this form here.
Right.
That's the reason why he said, I'm in the Father, or in the cloud, or in the Spirit. And the Spirit is in me.
Right.
And I just got through telling you there was nothing symbolized by the cloud, but everything was embodied within him.
Right.
And he is, listen now, he is the all in all. Brethren, that's all.
Right.
With Jesus Christ. Now, are you going to follow me down?
Yes.
Now, all I have said to you, thus far, I have to prove it. See? And just reading around in the Bible, I ain't going to get it. Right. Because you can't begin over that way. Where you begin to read and get it. See? That's what everybody's trying to do. And that's what the master theologians are trying to do, is to begin over here in the first chapter of Genesis, the commentary.
Yes.
You understand? That's why the preachers know they try to begin over there. They call it the beginning, that's the beginning. You see? But that is not the beginning. You see? Now, the reason why I brought this in this way is to show you, see, how bad errors and mistakes can be caused, and why the masses of people cannot be reconciled. They don't all have the concept. You see? No religious body on earth, Roman Catholics or Protestants, or even the Jews, they do not have it. And if any one of them had it, the rest of them would fall by the weight of that one. And that's why they're all crumbling down from ours.
That's right.
I started to cut it out of the paper and bring it down here too, out of today's paper. I did show it to Dr. Girl and Dr. Swain. They just happened to be up at the house, and Dr. Briggs, I showed it to them. That's the International Council, or the National Council of Churches, you see, because of bureaucracy. See, they wasn't able to hold that, their religious bodies together, and they were just sitting, and they know nothing to do, and eventually it didn't take. Now, if I had been thinking about it, you know, as I usually do sometimes, you see, I would have cut it out of the paper and brought it down anyway. But the reason why I didn't bring a lot of commentary, you know, and manuscripts tonight, is, you see, I want to first tell you about the thing itself, from a biblical point of view, so that you can see and call your attention to it. Now, did any of you ever notice before, when you read the Bible, did you ever notice, see, that Yahweh was not mentioned in the first chapter of Genesis? No. Haven't you noticed that? No. You didn't know why. Right. That it wasn't that. That's right. You see? Disappointed? Doesn't say a thing about Yahweh. You see? Now, the reason why it doesn't say anything about Yahweh created the heavens and earth is because Moses doesn't have in a vision here, as he said on the paper. That's right. So then instead of it saying God created, then it's Elohim created, which means that he then says and created. Okay. Now we say this in this statement form. See, Elohim is the archetype, or he is the original pattern of the universe. That's why the stars, the atoms, do you understand? Yes. Everything is that way. Even you're numerous flashes and souls, body, and spirit. You see? Now then, with that threefold, 1, 2, 3, it's this manifestation of pure spirit in its taken form, incorporated, and comes on down here into the physical taken form. Then, listen, animal, vegetable, matter, don't make no difference how minute and remote. Let's see, it must have that threefold configuration. How you follow? Yes, so that's why I read that he is the original archetype pattern of the universe. Now listen, I want to go now into the first chapter of Romans, and the 19th and 20th verse. Now, Paul, the apostle Saul, or Paul, I want to tell you about that too. Saul is a true Hebrew name. See? Paul is a Greek rendition of it. Right. Now, there is Paul speaking of these people back here at Mount Sinai. Now you listen to what he's saying, and you're going to come right back, see, into the first chapter of Genesis, and what we're saying here. All right, read.
Because that which may be known of Yahweh.
Because that which may be known of Yahweh. Now, hold it. See, you remember I told you that you couldn't see him. You understand? Yeah. In his book. No, I can see. But you can know something about it. Mm-hmm. You see? Mm-hmm. See, and here's how you know something about him, because he took on a shape and form. Mm-hmm. Then everything he made, right from the creation, clearly revealed. So that you will not make any blunders. See? In other words, he took special and particular pains to see to it that everything in the creation pointed out his invisible presence. Mm-hmm. All right. All right, read.
Because that which may be known of Yahweh is manifested in them.
Now, it's manifested in them. You see? See, everything is manifested right in you. Now, you run around looking for something, you see, and there it is, it's right in you. You see? It's in everybody. It's in vegetation. It's in all the types of matter. You understand? But you see, you can't find it because, you see, you're a part of it that's right under your nose all the time. You see? You understand what I mean? Just couldn't find it to save your life. See? And that's the thing. It is the simplicity and the reality of it that causes so many staggering blunders. You see? Now, if you read what we tell you in this school, our first primary objective in this school is to find and know Yahweh. Listen at me. Not like somebody might imagine him to be, but as he really is and as he actually exists.
Right.
You see? That's what we come here for. See? And we don't care. We're not interested in what some master theologian says. You get my point? What Matthew Henry commentators Spurs tell them, we just got loads of us around the outside. You see? We're not interested in what Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Spencer, Huxley, and so forth and so on say. You see? You understand? Are you following what I'm talking about? We're not interested in what the Baha says. You see? You follow what I'm talking about? And everybody's trying to boost itself up to be so much greater than anybody else. See, Yahweh Elohim is manifested in this one man just as great as he is in anybody on earth. Or any one woman, as much as he is in any single human being on earth. See? That doesn't make anybody above anybody.
That's right.
You see? And you do not have any preeminence over the beast.
Right.
One dies just like the other. You understand? And all physical matters come. Can I put this in the first perspective? It first comes from Yahweh, through Elohim. See? And then into a holy mass of matter. And then from that, see, conglomeration, he took the physical man.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we see it that way. If you're a father now, if you understood, he did it that way for this reason. See, matter, was first. Now, you follow. You follow. Now, when I say matter, I'm talking about uranium, salt, metal. You understand?
Yes.
And just plain dirt. You understand? And talk about vegetation. All of that. You see what I'm talking about? Approximately 92 basic elements of matter.
Right.
You understand? And 91 of them, listen, 91 of them is threefold. Well, I thought you said there was 92. There is. Is that right?
That's right. That's right.
Well, then, these 92 is threefold. What's the matter with this 92nd one? It's just twofold.
That's right.
It's threefold.
That's right.
But this part of it is indiscernible.
Yeah.
And incomprehensible.
Yeah.
See, that's why it's you see? See? Now then, this one here is, this 92nd one, it is, now all the rest of it is a proton, neutron, electron. See? Now there's something absent here that man can't discern. What is it?
Neutron.
Neutron. See? That's the intermediate that joins the two together. You see? See? So then now, here's what it is.
Okay.
See that? See, that's why you don't see that on there. But it's not.
That's right. That's right.
Did you follow?
Yes.
Now, what would that be called?
The hydrogen atom.
Huh?
The hydrogen atom.
Hydrogen. H-Y-D-R-O-N. Hydrogen atom. It only has two parts. That is, that man has discerned.
That's right.
And the other part of it is not discernible. Because, you see, you can't say, I just told you this. You can't say, oh, no, it's not this good. That's right. You see? Now, there's no wonder man can't do anything with these things. You see? And we'll get into that too, pretty soon. And we'll show you why that is. See? Now, finish reading while you were reading that.
Because that which may be known as
Now, I said, because that which may be known of Yahweh
is manifest in them.
is manifested in them.
For Yahweh has shown it.
For Yahweh has showed it to them. Read.
For the invisible things.
Now listen, now I told you Yahweh was invisible. But for the invisible things. Now wait just a minute. I told you Yahweh was invisible. Right. And I also told you that Elohim was invisible and overseen and leading to Revelation. And so it comes down to this broken, more dense form or into matter state. To say, well then you couldn't visualize whether it's a human being or just plain dirt. You couldn't see it. You can't see an atom. See? But if you get enough of them together, then it comes into visibility. Right? That's what I meant when I said an amalgamation and a conglomeration. Now, if you notice now, when you just read, you see, and you go right back to the first chapter of Genesis, you see, in that first veil, there, which we're going to have to get in there and straighten that up, too. You see, if you read that in the beginning, Elohim created heaven and earth and told you the state or the condition that it was in.
Right.
Is that right? Well, now then, guess what that makes me have to do? See, I have to tell you the state and the condition that Yahweh is in.
Right.
You see? You see the point? And then he produced this shape and form that was seen in vision and revelation. You see? Then, now stop. Now this is pure spirit. Everything that comes from pure spirit. Now hold the seeing this in the vision. And it's got to be repeated out here. So then if this is true that this shape and form comes, if it is true that shape and form did come from pure spirit, as a seen in the vision. Understand? Now listen. Then Moses will have to see the heavens and the earth in its inorganic.
Right.
See? And inanimate. Inorganic and inanimate. See? Then it's got to be organized. You see? Because this, see, has to be organized. See, this has to be organized. You see? Now, that is what you're reading about. There in the first chapter of Genesis. How it come in, and the shape and the condition it was in. See? You understand? Now, this, I didn't say in the beginning, the beginning of Moses' vision.
Right.
See? It has to appear that way to him first. And then it has, all right.
I'd like to have some further explanation on the second verse.
On the second verse,
That reads, and the earth became without
there aren't plain things in the book.
That's the reason I wanted to explain.
But see, now here's the explanation of that. You see, now here's the explanation of that. See, you'll find mistranslation everywhere.
Right.
See? Now it says that, and the earth became. No, that's not so.
That's right.
Take it up out of the King James Version.
And the earth was.
The earth was. It's not a became. It just was.
That's right. That's right.
See the difference between the became and was? No, it didn't became. It just was. Now that's the reason why I say. See, when you have a knowledge of what it is all about, then you don't wonder over these things that are said in the book. And you're able to pick them all out. You see? All right. Does that satisfy?
Yes, that is the translation.
Yes, sir. And definitely. See, now, let me do something with that. See, I told you I wasn't satisfied. Now, just like that, an error in that part. Then, to say in the beginning, God, that's an error in the continuous. Right. You see? And that's why I tell you, you just simply must, see, have a profound knowledge of these things. Otherwise, just can't be done. See? It just didn't became nothing. Now, let me show you. If we would use the became, you see, if we would do that, then this is what it would be. See? Now, this is going to throw us back into time, which I haven't gotten into yet. You see? It throws us right back into time, which I haven't gotten into yet. But I will get into it. You believe you me? This mountain was already there. All right. See? The earth was already populated and vegetated when Moses saw the vision. Right. You see? Now, to use the word became, you see, then that blocks it all out. Right. You see? See, he's even unconscious of the fact that he is up in a mountain. Right. He is really not in a mountain, the real Moses now. Right. Moses is the real inner self of Moses, is in the realm of eternity. Right. All right. Okay. That's why he's like that. But there's anything else? Yes. You read this. And the earth became, to me, is an implication that there was an earth. Yes. That's the way it's reads. Yeah. If it became without form, it must have been something there, you know. That's what I was trying to explain. Yeah, that's right. So instead of it appearing that it wasn't anything there, the way the second verse reads is that there was an earth. And this earth that already the second one, the became is in there. And the way it's reading is that what was took on another form. In fact, it came without form. You have anything about that? Yeah.
Your hand in the back.
How's that?
Got a hand in the back.
All right, what is it?
Did you say, did anyone have a comment or a question?
I said, did anyone have a comment?
Oh, I'd like to ask a question.
That's all I had.
When Yahshua the Messiah came in, Mary and Joseph was married was the cause of Mary and Joseph becoming together. To begin with, what was the cause of their coming together to start with? Mary and Joseph, especially on that.
Because, I would put it this way. Yahweh is the first cause of everything. Now, that would call for a lot of breakdown. You understand what I'm talking about? Now, what I'm telling you is what I just got through telling you. You see, that every bit of the matter that is in existence was like everything. Right. It wasn't so, and it wasn't so. Everything. Joseph, Mary, Adam, Eve, and you, and everybody else. That's what I'm telling you. See? Right. That's what I'm trying to explain. See? I'm kind of warm. They all won't mind, you know, taking off my throat. See? Now, let's go on to that next. Are you satisfied? Anybody else satisfied? Now, what you just read there, you see, repeat what you just read.
Because that which may be known of Yahweh.
Because that which may be known of Yahweh is manifested in them.
For Yahweh has showed it unto them.
For Yahweh has showed it unto them.
For the invisible things.
Now, for the invisible things, now let me just stop you right there. Now, let me just stop. See? What we might call half-cocked. You see? Now, there is not a man nor a woman in the world. See? But what doesn't have a heart and an aorta lung, you see, which indicates these vessels in here. You see, as these are encompassing or enclosed in your body. Everything, everything. Right. They're there. You see what I mean? Now, we said you was threefold. 1, 2, 3. Now when you break it down, even the axis, when it's broken down, you see, it has these parts, right, and all this. You see what I mean? Right. The tabernacle's got these parts in. You see, you got these things, the life of the word here was referred to your aorta. It has 7 branches here and your aorta, you see. Around it has 7 branches, just like. Right. Everybody's got it. It ain't you. See? Everybody's got heart. Everybody's got love. See? Yahshua said, I'm the light of the world. See? What's in the blood in that? Yes, the blood. There's a life of the flesh is in the blood. No, sir, you're not lying. Right. You see? Now, what he just said for the invisible thing, you can't see your heart. See, any more so than you can see inside of the tabernacle. Right. Right. You see? You can't see your brain any more so than you can look into the most holy place and see the 2 cherubims of glory. You understand? You can't see, but they're there. Right. And they've been there all the time. You see? You follow? All right. But invisible things in him from the creation of the world are clear seen. See that, William, there ain't no need of you and big short, you understand, running and stumbling around. No more. See, that running and stumbling is over with. You see? See? And like I said, you don't know, you just might think, no, I ain't wrong about it at all. See? No, I'm not wrong. It's a matter of absolute impossibility for me to be wrong. You see? And it's not speculated. That's right. It is not prismatic, if you know the meaning of words. But it is dogmatic. It is positive. It is definite. It is concrete. It is basic. You ought to be able to get one word out of it. Because that is fundamental. Yes, you see. How am I doing? All right. Now, what Paul is saying, that the invisible things of him from the creation of the world, they just clearly seen. Look at the invisible things. You see? Now, how you going to understand an invisible thing, something you can't see? See? Read.
Being understood.
Now, being understood.
By the things that are made.
By the things that are made. Now, wait just a minute. See? By the things that are made. See? You follow? Yes. What's made? See? Mm-hmm. Oh, I want to get into that so bad yet tonight. See, I'm going to have to move a little faster, but I want you all to keep up with me. All right. See, I want to get into that, see, by the things that are made. Now, the man-made things is this that I want you to know. This first, there are no examples. Now, that ark is threefold. This tabernacle is threefold. Most of the place, and non-fold. Upper deck, middle deck, and lower deck. Right, see? And that is a proton, neutron, electron. See, Yahweh is second thing. The blood out. Anybody hates it. And now, wait a minute. Oh, it's just a minute right there. Right there. You see, you can be as second as you please. See? But now, Yahweh got to send somebody. Right. That he has his endorsement on. Right. You understand? To point these things out. Right. Just like he told Moses. Right. You see? Right. Are you following? Yeah. Just like he told Aaron to be high priest. You see? Yahweh chooses whomsoever he will. Now, if he didn't reveal it to you, You understand? You never want to pull a curtain down or close an edge off without saying somebody. All right now. You see what I'm saying? Now listen. And you're going to have to hear that somebody that Yahweh sent. Or else remain stupid. All right. Because nobody else can tell you. See, they don't know. You can study and study. Solomon said, much study is a weariness of the flesh. You can't read up on this and Jehovah's Witnesses claim you can. You see? Anybody can read the Bible. See? Because I showed you the man they say. You see? Man, Yahweh told him to make it up. No. Something else about that. Can I just toss this in and pass on? See, he told Moses to make the tabernacle there before Moses had any knowledge about God. Right. And Moses down here making it, and give the instructions for this. He didn't know a thing about it, didn't he? That tabernacle. Right. Yahweh just gives a man another certain time. See, then when he imparts that to somebody else, then he gives him some more, and he imparts that to somebody else. When he was up in the mountain, he showed him this tabernacle. You see? And then when he came down out of the mountain with the dimensions and all the tabernacle, he got them vision on that. And then when he went back in the mountain last time, then he brought him on down and showed him there's no other. All right. It's all right. That's right. And since the Israelites was not going to build no ark like that, they didn't get them started on this first. This is already over. See, then, the next thing is your power. Yes. Now, I said the invisible things of him from the creation of the world, I swear to see. See? Being understood by the things that are made. Even. Read.
His eternal power.
Even his eternal power.
And his eternal nature.
And supernal nature, you got God here in there. That's right. You can't gain person. God here. Now here's where Catholics take it. You see, they say that God is the Father, God is the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. They say there's three distinctive individual personalities. That definitely and perfectly is not so. That's right. See, this is not three tabernacles. This is just one. Right. You understand? This is spirit here. And then takes on the shape of the form and then comes down here. You see? And those are the two manifestations of the one Yahweh. Right. Now Yahweh is one. Right. See, with two manifestations. You see? This tabernacle and your body is a tabernacle. See? You see that now? Yes. That man is made. David made it. The star pattern of the temple. How did Yahweh do that? See, you've got a correlation here. That Yahweh made the man in his own likeness and image. Right? Right. Then that's Yahweh Elohim. You see? They just like this, placed his body right over David's body. Right. Then showed him how to build his temple. Just like so. This body translated into that and shows us how to build the tabernacle. Okay. One is the nurse and the other is the heaven. You see? Oh, it's wonderful. You see what I mean? Now, the invisible thing of him from the creation. Well, what did he do it that way for? Read on.
So that they are without.
See, you ain't got no excuse for your stupidity. You see? Ain't nobody got no excuse for it. See, Yahweh takes better pains. You see? Now, that's one of the reasons why the same apostle told you over here in the book. See? In the second chapter of 2 Thessalonians. Now, listen to this straight. He told them people not to be troubled by an epistle from him.
Yes, right.
You see? Don't get worked up about an epistle if you don't understand it. If you don't understand the epistle, don't get worked up about it. Because Yahweh is taking special things, like the things that are made, to eliminate all of its excuses. Now, that has to be like that. Now, this is straight. This is straight. In the 17th chapter of Acts, that was to be like that. About 1728. See? Now listen to what I'm saying. For it's in him we live, and we move, and we have our being, being made up in his likeness and in his image. See? So that you just don't have no excuse. You see? But this is what he did. He hid that from the wise and prudent and refused to understand. Right? See that now? That's what he said he was going to do. Now the evidence is so great that you can't see for looking. That's right. See, you just running around all the time looking for God, looking for Jesus, and understand all that kind of thing, all the time. You got all the evidence by your own side. Right. Enough to convict you in the judgment. See? Now what this will do, it'll point out every preacher that's incapable. And every preacher who hasn't comprehended. Now listen. You see, I'm here. I said I had a vision. Well, it's not following me down on it. See, then you'll understand. See, now these are things that I'm pointing out to you that will determine whether or not that I did. Right. You see? I have said it many times. Nobody can explain the purpose of Yahweh but Yahweh himself. Right. Now then that means that Yahweh has to be in me. Right. You see what I'm talking about? If he is not, I can't do it. Right. You see, it's just a matter of absolute impossibility. You see your problem? Yes. All right. So that we are without excuse. There's just no excuse. But if you didn't comprehend that truth of Yahweh, then somebody else. Right. Friend, me alone. Right. See? Now, are you up with me now? Yes. Is everybody up with me thus far? Now, this is what I want to show you. Some more about this creation. Now, remember, I told you that the word Yahweh was not him. The first chapter of Genesis. I told you that that was not the beginning of the creation. And I took you over to the third chapter of Revelation and 14th verse and showed you that he, Elohim, was the beginning of the creation of Yahweh. Right. And right there, when we went out of this, Yahweh. And then Elohim created that you have in the first chapter of Genesis. Right. Did you follow that? Yes. Now, is that clear? Now, got another beginning. Now, you read in the first verse, the first chapter of Genesis, Moses described the state and the condition in which the earth was in. That is, that he saw it in the vision. Everything came up. That means it's jumbled up. Now, you have to look up here and pay attention to what I'm saying. See every word I say. Got some weight behind it. Right. Now then, it says this is the beginning of the creation. The beginning of this vision of the creation. Yahweh just running the thing back over. Now, in the beginning of this migration, or coming up out here, it's got to be in a devastated condition. Right. You see? You see that now? By pouring out of them 10 plagues. It's got to be darkness down there. Because this is the beginning of the migration, and just got it right around the feet. Now, what Moses is seeing is things that experience down here. Right. You see? That's what he meant. The Lamb is playing there. Here he is playing here. Right. See? When he moved out of this nation and this nation. Like that, that's it. You see what I mean? When he passed over this, see, come out of this path, the path. You see, okay? Now, man, it's passed from death to life. He's a path, that's a path. All right. You see, when he has understood and fully comprehended, and you're going to have to do that, whether you can appreciate it. You must have a profound knowledge of it. Now, this is what I'm asking now. I just told you that about the shadow, and since we have worked with that so hard, I'm going to skip it. See, and now here it is, that's the burning bush. That's our routine. See, it's the burning bush. Now, like a burning bush if you went back and read the third chapter of Exodus. Then you find it was an angel. You find it Yahweh. You find it Elohim. See? Now what? You see? It turns out to be that. Because he is heaven, he will be whatever he will to be.
Right.
See? He be the angel, he can be the Lord, you understand? He's Yahweh, he's earth, he's the beginning. Because he is everything that is. Right. See? Now then it comes down to Jesus. Now this is what we have time to tell you. We told you that the Exodus was before the Genesis. Now Exodus, a lot of folks now, Exodus, now what we're trying to do now is time. See? Now we're trying to time. See? And we're trying to get the exact spot. See? And it could go on down and get today, but I just don't have time to go down there today. You see? See what I mean? But now we're going to time this thing. All right. Now I told you that Exodus means a departure. See? Now if you take a plane here, you depart from Los Angeles and you arrive somewhere else. Right. You see? That's destination. You see? So now this is an Exodus, or coming out of, or a departure from me. Right. And it starts. Then it comes through the water here, and it's on the third day. Now then this section here has got to repeat. See, you got to have your garden thing, you got to have a third day, you got to have water moved off the face of it, you got to have your dedication and all that. You see what I'm talking about? Now then, it comes on through here, and comes up to Mount Sinai. See, I don't have time to go up through Paran and all that, I just don't have time. See, so that's not what left. I'm after getting this thing. So now he's called him, someone told him to call him up in the mountain. Now Moses was up in the mountain this first time. This is the Mount of Elohim. Right. He said. And he had called it up here in this mountain. And he's back over the mountain. And he was told to tell the children of Israel to wash up. They wash up and clean themselves up. See, in 3 days to do that. Now watch. I see here's another thunder. Pharaoh's in faith. You see? Now, when this tabernacle is built, see, they have to be what? Now, they didn't get wet going through the river. Right. But they did up here. You see? They didn't get wet going through the door here, but they did have to wash in the lake. Right. Before they could go into the hole. Okay. See that now? Yeah. Now, here's what we're doing. We're not doing anything else other than that. And that alone. We're going right by Yahweh Elohim. In shape and form. Up here, and I just use this here. You understand? And this is a pattern. And every time I make a move, I've got to make it correlate with this pattern. Right. All the way through. See, every step, out of sight, inner, and everything. You see? I have to do it that way. In order to be true. You see? Now, that's really not me proving it. That's Yahweh proving his own existence. Right. Just makes me understand. See through the vision. Now, if I was my inner self, I never said this way before. If my inner self wasn't that real, genuine thing that was up here, now, right here, out here on the side of the pattern, I could say, right. Do you understand that? Yeah. Now, you can put as many credentials behind my name. You put M-C, you put P-H-D, just put L-L, double-D-D, and anything you want to. Hope can take it together anytime. But I still can't make the break. You see what I'm talking about? You see? There's those credentials and all will not make it. That's the reason why I said it. You say, that piece of paper that we're giving you is according to the civil law. You say, but now the truth about it is, you see, your license is up here. Right. That's right. You've been licensed by the Holy Spirit. So to speak. They say, now, we're at the time. Now then, after that, they washed up. And Yahweh spoke to them from the mountain. You see, now I have to hurry now. So if I get a little rambunctious, because I want to put it in and show them. Yahweh spoke to them from the mountain. You see, spoke to the children of Israel. You know how he's supposed to give them the commandments. I don't have to go into that. right? Right. You see? And then, Moses told, now 24th chapter. Now look at it this time and watch and see what I'm telling you. Because now what I'm asking, I'm timing now. I'm going to show you what happened. And this is where the theologians don't get it. And this is why can't nobody tell you but Yahweh Elohim. All right. So the 24th chapter, the first verse.
And he said unto Moses,
Come up unto Yahweh.
And he said unto Moses,
Come up unto Yahweh.
Thou and Aaron.
Now that's what this is showing. And this is what she's reading about. We got 24, 9, and 10. It ought to be 24, 1, 2, and 9, and 10, you see. But, all right, read on.
Thou and Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu.
All right.
And 70 of the elders of Israel.
That's right.
And worship thee upon all.
And worship him. Now look here. You see? Now we're showing you have to draw this back over there, a back over. All right, now. You see? It cannot go all the way up. All right, read.
And Moses alone shall.
Now you see that? Now you see what I'm talking about? Moses alone and by himself. Now that's what Yahweh Elohim says. Yeah. Now you can just start to put yourself in something or anything to make yourself as big as you really. You understand? And you get stupid. You see? You understand? The first thing you know is somebody that does know sees that. You see? And all these people that stand and see what I'm talking about. Yeah. And the minute you start to make yourself, just be rejected. You can't put nothing on nobody here. Right. These folks down here know that's all. So you just might as well at any time line up. So that's as big as in this world. No, I don't mean this thing. You get it now? Don't nobody tell us all about it from me. That's right. See? Now let me put that down in a minute. See? Now what I just said to you that, I didn't mean of these things. See? I meant by that I am Yahweh Lord in the Bible. Now I'm not thinking of this. I'm talking about what I am. Right. And in that state, and in that condition, I'm given to be. All right. I'm the one that Moses went up in the mountain to see. All right. I won't put it down so you can understand what I'm talking about. Now, I don't mean what somebody might think I is. I'm talking about my inner self and your inner self. That's got to be the same. You take that to reveal it to you, and you can't hypocrite around with it. And so now, you see, Moses, you see, needs something else. Moses alone shall come near. Is that what you just said? He didn't tell him, Nadab and all, in the top of that mountain. Right, said Moses by himself. Now you try to make on like you were savage. Now, how about that? And when you try to make yourself see that, it's going to slip up somewhere. You see what I'm talking about? When the high priest went into the most holy place, he went in that by himself. Alone. Right. Yahweh spoke to him in 16th chapter of Leviticus. Said, won't you tell your brother not to be running in now, Is that right? They say, don't go in there on the day of atonement. And then come in by yourself. And not without blood. That's the reason I just like you. Shed that blood before you go in. That's right. That's right. And he by himself. Nobody else but him. All the vision of the reading of heaven and earth. Now, this is in the mountain. Mount Sinai that she's reading about. Now, I told her she didn't have time to take it all. Now then, get down to the 9th, 10th, and the 16th verse.
Then Moses, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the
Elohim of Israel. Now, they just, now, see, now they're under his feet. You remember I told you took on sheep and fall?
Right.
You see? Now, in your other King James Bible, it says, and they saw the God of Israel. Now, over here, you've got no man seeing God at any time. Now, you're back in trouble. Right. You see it? Yes. All right. They saw the Lord of Israel. And, all right, read on fast. Now, you got feet. Read on, that's the word. As it was a pig, what of a sapphire. And it was a fire. Fire! Fire, I said. You see? Of heaven in his flesh. Right. All right, read on. Thank you, I say no taking home. Right. You see? All right, read.
And Moses rose up.
And Moses. Now watch now. Watch what you're doing. Watch what you're doing. And Moses rose up. And his ministers. Who? Joshua. Now watch this and come together. Watch this and come together. Now when he comes in to fulfill, you see, now he said, now here's what's tearing the hell out of Christendom. You see? They're saying he instituted, and he's saying he fulfilled it. Now here's where he instituted it. Right. And here's where it comes in now here in this book. There's Moses and his men. Joshua. Now there's Moses. See? You don't have to look at the text after 1 Corinthians. You see? Look right here. Mm-hmm. And he said there'll be some standing that shall not taste of death until they see a vision. Right, Son of Man, coming in his kingdom. See, then that means this, that they have to see it like that. Right. And he has to fulfill it. Yeah. So then Moses, and this same minister of Moses, has to go up in that number. And Moses has to do it. Then again, God, look at his minister, Moses, and his minister. All right. All right. See, what he's doing is fulfilling, not institute. Are you following? Yes. All right. Read on.
And the glory of Yahweh abode upon Mount Sinai.
And the glory of Yahweh abode upon Mount Sinai.
And the cloud covered it 6 days.
Now, right there, the cloud covered it 6 days. Now, I'm getting back now. I'm timing it. Remember, go ahead. Got to say the reason. We're not just getting to it. Right. See, I'm timing it now. And I'm putting it down in its proper place. When Moses really saw what you read in the first chapter again. That's what I'm asking now. See, that cloud covered it 6 days. All right. Understand? That was in Mount Sinai in Arabia. That he saw the vision. And he put the vision over here in the first part of the book. Yes. He said in the beginning. In the beginning of what? In the beginning of the vision. That's the creation. The cloud covered it 6 days. Now when you go over in Genesis, the first chapter of Genesis, you don't see no clouds. All right. Right. Moses tells you here the first part of Genesis. Understand? What he saw in the vision during the 6 days. And he got these day numbers right down there in the first chapter of Genesis. You see what he said he saw? You see what I mean? And he's creating by himself. You understand? And he's transfigured into this tabernacle. And that's why each one of those days has got to be divided up. You see? And it's every day there's got to be something to go through that one. Every day there's got to be something. There about those ones. Every day. You see? There's got to be something. Now, this is close now. This is close. Don't miss this one. The sun, the moon, and stars, and all planets, the earth, all was already created. And now, you got in the evening and the morning was the first day. Right. Evening and the morning was the second day. Evening, so forth, so on. Not up. This is what happened. Here's how we think out here. This sun, if it already in the sky, it's long before the moon ever was right in the heaven. That was in the evening and the morning, or the rise and the setting. While Moses is up in this mountain. You see that now? Right. That is the day. You understand? Yeah. That is the day. That is the first day. That is the second day. The first day is was up there. Second day he was up there. You see that hill down at the foot of the mountain. He takes the cloud, turns a burning pillar of fire. You understand? He begins to a pillar of fire. Then the next day he begins to a cloud. That's a pillar of cloud. You see what's about that? Now, did you follow me through there? Not the time. It's time is going to stop. And we are always stop. We always do. Now, it's now here, the invisible thing, the visible thing, is understood by this, not to get the unknown. By the having the thing of the sun is like that, right? That is now. 6 days of it. During the 14th of the night, they started to bring this out and to the king was drinking. To the bottom, yes. And he's giving you a 25-day account of what he saw during those 6 days. Not that Yahweh created him, but it was he was in the realm of eternity. Yes. He was the time. That's how Yahweh did, you understand? And it was in time, it put in eternity, by the right, and setting up the sun. And his was taking account. That's about another good. All right. Next place. You see that? Now, let me clear that. I'm having some clarification. Now, I told you to transfigure into the tabernacle, right? Right. And then you created everything by that tabernacle. Mm-hmm. That's like justification, you know. Mm-hmm. Now, listen close. Listen close. Now, that was the 24th chapter of Exodus that we read. Now, I want to start in the 25th.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses. Now, you keep your eyes open now. Don't go sleep. See? See, now, when you got down there in Genesis, where you got them 6 days, yeah. Now, we're through with the creation. We're through. Because you read there, he finished up everything in the creed. Is that right? Right. There's some things I could go into and show you that Moses had to be brought right back the way he left off there. Mm-hmm. But you see, I don't want to get into that right now. See? You see what I'm talking about? Now, watch me. Everybody watch up here and watch carefully. Now, read this one good.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses. Thanks.
Speak unto the children of Israel.
Speak unto the children of Israel.
That they bring me an offering.
That they bring me an offering.
Of every man that giveth him.
For every man that giveth. Now, this is what he's talking about. Now, listen. When they got out of Egypt, they brought up silver and gold and cloth and everything else, enough to make this tabernacle. You see? In other words, they brought that material, substance, out of Egypt that they made the tabernacle out of. You see? Now, they did not know what to do. Now, here's what I'm telling you. This substance back here, natural soul, goes right into this substance here, right now, spiritual soul. Now, here's what I'm showing you now. Now, look. That's Exodus 25. Now, Yahweh would not ask Moses to build a tabernacle unless he builds one first. Right. You see what I mean? Now, this heaven and earth that you see him creating during these 6 days, that is a greater and more perfect tabernacle. You see? Mm-hmm. And that greater and more perfect tabernacle, it has to have these creations in it, the light, the darkness, the water, the birds, the water, the leaves, and so forth and so on. And Moses is seeing this in this vision. And he translates into this tabernacle. 3 folds, 3 parts. See? And this creation has got to be that way. Now, this creation here is the greater and more perfect tabernacle. You see? So now, in this, he reaches into this substance and creates this. You understand? Yes. The greater and more perfect tabernacle. Now, you got Moses here in the 25th chapter. That's something you brought about vision. Tell them to bring me an offering. Mm-hmm. You see, that they didn't build that tabernacle. Right. You see what I'm talking about? Right. Now, the 25th one. I mean the 41st. Now you look that you make this tabernacle. See, like the pattern I showed you in the mountain. Now if you don't make it, see, like I made the greater and more perfect tabernacle, you throw everything in the universe out of kilter. The God is Lord. Right. You see what I mean? You throw the atoms and you see, and everything. You understand? The cells and everything. So now, of that substance that you brought about, that is just like I told you, Jesus substance in Jesus. You understand? You see? Now, Moses sees him like that, come down, you see? Now, he didn't see Adam commit a sin. Didn't see that? Right. See, because it comes on down here. He gives them the specification. The other 33 days, he's 7 years. The other 33 days, he's finished. He's showing about this measurement, placing of this material in this tabernacle, and he's reflecting this tabernacle back and forward. You see? And he's telling about the dimensions and everything. You understand? Now then, he's going to get back in the dark. You see? You see? Everything was love. He didn't see the same thing. Now, he heard Yahweh say, not so like that doesn't mean any greater than anything like it, because anything that's in the heavens above and the earth beneath. And so, he said, oh, down there, he heard that. And he wrote that down in the bridge. Right? Well, you see, when he comes back down out of the mountain, then Pharaoh was stone. Knowing that Yahweh told him not to do it, he got him saying that he stopped it, it got hot and through that Pharaoh was stone down. Now, Yahweh told him to put him in the Ark of the Covenant. Well, you see, didn't have no tabernacle built. See, no, Yahweh knew this, he wasn't going to do that. He was talking about, it got hot and all the time. And he was just sitting around and saying he could get something done. Right, you see what I'm talking about? Yeah, now that first up. Then he goes back. See, doing out the rock. Doing out his own face of stone, goes back in the dark. You understand? You see, and then goes back in the mountain. And then you see this transgression. See? You understand now what's happening down here, what had already happened. You see? You understand? Right. And he wasn't quite that long when he come down this book. Then listen, he sees Adam. He's driven out of the dark. Now let me put this together for you. I have to do it quick. Now, I'm just going to tell you how to do it. Yes. Now, where you left off in the first chapter of Genesis, where you left off, put the 25th chapter of Exodus in. You see? You see that now? Now, Moses wrote the first chapter of Genesis, you see, that's in the mouth, you understand? You see? The head now? And then he created that out of the substance, you see? Now then Yahweh tells him, while he's up in that mountain, to take a substance from the children of Israel and make it. You understand? You see what I'm talking about? When you get that, you understand? While he told him that while he was in the mountain. You see what I'm talking about? So when he comes down out of the mountain, then he tells him to do this. So then he put the 25th chapter of Exodus and all this, or 14 chapters in there. You see what I'm talking about? You see? Before you stop in the second chapter of Genesis. To come into Yahweh Elohim. All right. All right. Yeah. You see? See, that means that everything has to take on a date and a function. And it has to come from that indivisible substance. First into that which you see in a vision, and then that which you see in the material existence. Just like all this is natural. Now, yes. Now you put that over there where it belongs. Now, after we get back in there and how to build this tabernacle, you know, and Moses goes back up in the mountain. This is the third time. Then Yahweh got time right back and he sees this right way. See? Now, now listen to what I'm saying. Because you don't, you miss. See, now you got time right back up there into that vision about the creation of heaven and earth. I mean, in that vision of Adam and Eve in the garden. You got time back. Now, if you notice, Genesis 1:26 and 7, he did not say, Moses did not say, what Yahweh made that man out of. He just said that he created a man in his own likeness and in his own image. He did not say what he was made up of. But in the second chapter of it, you see, where it tells you right back the way they left off at. You see, then he comes to tell you about Yahweh Elohim. You see? You see? All right. He's got to have and take it on and keep and form in every respect, and it's dropped down in his materialistic sense and everything before he can use Yahweh Elohim. Okay. All right. Okay. And it is not somebody else's account, second account. It is Moses' own writing. And Moses heard his name called at the burning bush, Yahweh. And when he seen the angel, and when he seen Yahweh down in me, you understand? And all, then he seen the total concrete of it all. I'm on time this week. Now, did you all understand? Now, I didn't think that you understood. And that second chapter of Genesis comes down. I'm okay. I'm through. I mean, the difference. Then he began to write the second stanza of this. Go back. He says Yahweh took the man from the dust of the earth and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life and became a living soul, and so forth and so on. Now, I want to get this book to you clear. Now look, all the rest of the whole entire book of Genesis is nothing else but a vision.
That's right. That's right.
See, when Moses was at the burning bush, see, he said, I am the Elohim of your father. See? Moses. And of Abraham. Then go back and get Abraham. See? And of Isaac. And of Jacob. Now hold this one tight. Hold this one tight. Don't let this one go. See? Now he just told Moses something there. See, he just told him something.
Right.
But now, in this thing, you see that he had from the frame of Adam and popped out, that contained the age said, all things. You see, clear all down. He's seeing all that in the vision. Right. In other words, he looks right at Adam. He sees Cain born, sees Seth born, sees Abel born, and he sees Abraham, that's the man. See, he just told him about it, but now he sees him. He sees Noah. Sees Noah build the ark. He sees everything. That's what he's writing down. And that whole Genesis is a vision. He even goes back and repeats and comes over and shows his own birth and how he was drawn out of the water and so forth and so on. All right. See, so your whole Genesis is a vision. And it is not just telling you. Moses heard what Yahweh Elohim said to Adam. He heard what he said to Cain. He heard what he said to Seth. He heard what he said to Enoch. He heard what he said to everybody back there. But I mean, looking at the personalities and the vision. Now, Christians don't know nothing about that. What they think is it was handed down. You see, it couldn't be handed down. You understand? Because even if you take what you got in this Bible and translate it a few times, you won't know it in a few more translations. Just there, to this page, and whatnot, because you don't understand the book. You don't understand what's going on. And even with that, see, I told you, man that simply does not become conscious and comprehend the power of God to do things. Take on about even the power of angels. An angel takes on and appears, and then takes it off. That's what the meaning of this thing is coming out of. And that's why the big here, that it had this touch with that angel on there, that I'm Gabriel, come through this thing, and that disappear. You understand? And that's the reason why I'm telling you, I have seen. I don't have to see nobody, and ask nobody does nothing. Right? You do your part, yeah. And nobody keeps me nothing. I can't even keep home without anything. You see? And would you be kind enough to recommend me some school to go to that knows what I told you? That's right. That's right. So I couldn't get there in those schools. And I told you this. And you, if you follow me tonight, you ought to be able to see whether or not. That's right. That's right. When you see 6 words, and the illustrated on the chart, there is no not this.